Yo guys, good morning. It's Brian. Happy Christmas Eve. It is Christmas Eve of 2018. So Merry Christmas if you celebrate that. Happy Hanukkah if you celebrate that, or any other holiday that you may celebrate during this period. I'm actually changing it up a little bit. So as you may be able to tell, I created or built, I should say, a gun rack in my room. And these are not my real steels. These are actually my airsoft rifles. So yes, I have gotten back into airsoft semi-seriously, which means I will start probably reviewing some airsoft guns periodically. To make a long story short, I kind of fell out of the sport just because the people I played with kind of stopped playing. I got busy with my work schedule, and my airsoft guns were just kind of in the basement in a closet collecting dust. Recently, I went out to a game at On Point Paintball, I believe it's called, and I had a really good time, and that got me back into airsoft. Anyway, I'm rambling. So today I'm going to be reviewing an airsoft rifle that I'm really excited about. You may be able to tell just based on what I have up on the wall. I haven't done a review in about 3 years. I think the last review I did was the BAR in 2015. But anyway, on to the review. So as you may have been able to guess based on what was on the wall, the airsoft gun I'm reviewing today is a classic, the Tokyo Marui SPAS 12 with the folding stock. So, to make a long story short, I was sick a few weeks ago. My girlfriend very generously offered to give me some money for Christmas, and I was homesick from work. She said, just look for something you like and buy it. And I was originally looking for a Stoner LMG airsoft rifle, but those are mysteriously very rare now. Apparently, like most airsoft websites do not have them in stock. But anyway, this is also a rarity. I had been looking for one of these ever since I started playing airsoft, and right off the bat, I realized that a SPAS 10 with a folding stock was very rare. I believe Tokyo Marui manufactured them with the folding stock for about maybe 2 or 3 years, like 2003, 2004, before they stopped manufacturing the folding stock. And besides finding them from a private seller, it was next to impossible to find these with the rifle or with the shotgun and the stock, unless you were buying from a private seller. So what happened was, I was just just for the hell of it, I typed in Tokyo Marui SPAS 12 with folding stock into Google. Most of what came up was like crappy clone SPAS 12s without the stock, Tokyo Marui SPAS 12s without the stock. And then I saw an Octagon Airsoft. They said they had a used Tokyo Marui SPAS 12. So at this point, I assumed either it was clickbait or it was going to be sold out. But lo and behold, it was in stock, or according to their website, it was in stock. So just for the hell of it, I just jumped on it and purchased it. It was used. It cost $225 starting out. And then the shipping, Octagon Airsoft is in Hong Kong, so the shipping was about 45, and then I got I got expedited shipping, so that tacked on another like $45. And so the whole kit and caboodle was like $300 shipped, which wasn't terrible. And Octagon Airsoft said right on the page where they were advertising the gun, they test fire all their used airsoft, or they make sure they're functioning properly before they ship them out. And I was like, all right, why not? So I bought it, and then also looked back at the reviews, and they got really good reviews. And I waited anxiously for a week, and then it finally came in. And I guess I'll just go on to my initial impressions after I picked it up. So right off the bat, if you know Tokyo Marui, you know that the majority of their stuff is mostly plastic. And their SPAS 12 is no exception. excluding the stock and the barrel. Everything else is plastic. The trigger is plastic, the receiver's plastic, the front end's plastic, the pump's plastic. Yeah, basically everything except the barrel and the stock are plastic. It should be noted that the stock is actually aftermarket. It's from a third party company. It's not from Tokyo Marui itself. Excuse me, a little sick still. It's from a third party. So what happened? Why it's so hard to really find a good SPAS 12 with the folding stock is because a lot of airsoft retailers don't carry the Tokyo Marui SPAS 12. They don't always have it in stock. The only place I really saw it with a SPAS 12 at all was on like Red Wolf Airsoft and Evike. And with Evike, it was relatively like a recent option. But also, the company that sells the stock is very sporadic with their inventory of the folding stock. A lot of times they'd be out of stock for like months or even years. And then when they were in stock, you'd have a hard time finding a retailer that actually had the SPAS 12. So I'm guessing what Octagon Airsoft did was they were like, hey, why don't we just buy out the inventory from the third party company that makes the airsoft folding stock, provide the SPAS 12s, and we'll just sell them as a package. And I was willing to bite on it. So anyway, I digress. most of it's plastic. Tokyo Marui is known for producing replicas that are really true to form. So right here it's got like SPAS 12, Tokyo Marui, made in Japan. All the details, the aesthetics are very on point for the SPAS 12. You've got like this little button. Well, it's not functional. They included, that's what in real steel, that's what you would use to switch from semi-auto to pump auto or pump. It's obviously cosmetic, but it's a nice little feature and afterthought. The charging handle is not functional. It's a little wobbly. That's a little weird. But the charging handle is not functional. The way you install or reload shells, you pop this open, the shell ejects. You pop back in, clap it shut. So that's that. If you flip it over, you have the safety right here. The safety is one other thing that's metal. So there's like 3 pieces that are metal. Basically, that's it. It's pretty straightforward, but Tokyo Marui, as always, did a really good job at making sure it had all the aesthetics that would make it look like a really good replica, which is what they're known for. They're not known for power. They're not known for making real steel, but they're known for making it look true to form. And I really like it. And for something that's like 89% plastic, it's really not all that creaky, which is nice because usually when an airsoft company uses plastic, it gets real creaky, but this is not. So now I'll move on to the cons that I have with the rifle and just the quality of it. So it was used. It was a used airsoft rifle, so I couldn't expect it to be perfect. Obviously, there were some nicks and scratches, which is fine. The one thing I did want to point out is that it is a tri-shot. And usually the way a tri-shot works is it shoots 3 BBs in like a little triangle, in a triangle form. And it usually, ideally, it stays in that triangle form until it reaches a certain distance, and then like a normal shotgun, it just kind of spreads out. But what I noticed when I was shooting this is the BB here, and then shoot like a triangle and stay close together. The third one over here from the one barrel, kind of like every so often I'll shoot off that way. And the tri-shots are a fixed hop-up, or they have a fixed hop-up in them. So there was no way to adjust it. I was just like, that's a little weird. So I don't know if maybe Octagon Airsoft like lubed the barrels, and maybe they just lubed that one barrel too much, and now it's just kind of like the residual lube is just making the one BB shoot off. It's not the end of the world, for what I'm using it for. I actually wasn't sure I was even going to be fielding this. I wasn't sure how practical it was for airsoft, which is what I'm going to get into next, is how I view the functionality of this airsoft gun. So when I bought this airsoft gun, I knew right off the bat it wasn't going to be practical for like an outdoor field. I figured if anything, it would be great for CQB. And this past weekend, I actually took it out to Strike Force South in South Jersey in I believe it's Pittsgrove, New Jersey, way down by the border of Jersey and Delaware, about 40 minutes from me where I am near Philly. And it did not disappoint. I thought, like, I wasn't sure how practical this would be. I destroyed with my team. Like, we destroyed the other team. Like, I had a shotgun. Most of my other teammates had shotguns, and we just kind of mopped floor with them. And this was great. It was great that it didn't have a stock, and I could just kind of peel corners with it. It was lighter because, you know, it's mostly plastic. Pumping the shotgun got a little tiring, but hey, free arm day in airsoft. It's great for CQB. I could not recommend it anymore. It looks awesome. You know, there's the intimidation factor. It turns heads because it's, you know, the SPAS 12 is a pop culture icon. It was in Jurassic Park. It was in Terminator. Anyone in airsoft knows what the SPAS 12 is, and even people outside airsoft recognize it, or outside firearms culture in general know and recognize the SPAS 12. So that was great, and the fact that it was functional was even better. Could not recommend this more for CQB. It's a great gun, and I look forward to using it more. I honestly wasn't a huge fan of CQB until I actually got this shotgun, if we're being technical here. But yeah, so overall, I really love it. I think it's a great item and a great shotgun to a great shotgun to field in CQB. Not sure about outdoors. I am going to an outdoor game relatively soon. I'm sure I will in the near future. So I'll probably bring it along just to see what happens. It would be a good backup, but I can't imagine shooting 275 FPS with 2.5s. It's really going to be that useful in an outdoor field unless we're doing like speedball or something. But overall, I love it. I'm really glad I got back into airsoft. I missed it. I'm looking forward to doing more reviews like this in the near future. Probably going to update my inventory now because I do have a job that makes a little bit more money, so I do have some money to play around with regarding airsoft. So we'll see. Anyway, enjoy your holiday. I guess I'll probably see you guys in the new year. I can't imagine I'll have any more updates regarding airsoft before that, but that's about it. If you have any questions, please leave comments below and hit that like and subscribe button if you'd like to see future videos. I'm going to be trying to update a little more periodically. Other than that, take care.